Russia's Baltic Fleet forces have begun watching U.S. guided missile destroyers, according to the Russian National Center for Defense Management. Do you want to learn more? Let's see what we can find out. Hey guys, welcome back to our channel Warzone. In today's video, we are going to tell you about two U.S. guided missile destroyers now in the Baltic Sea. But before we get started, make sure you subscribe to our channel and hit the bell icon so you don't miss any of our incredible videos. Russia's Baltic Fleet forces have begun monitoring U.S. guided missile ships that have entered the Baltic Sea, according to the Russian National Center for Defense Management. The Baltic Fleet's forces and facilities have begun following the actions of the U.S. guided missile destroyers USS Donald Cook and USS Forrest Sherman, which entered the Baltic Sea, according to the center, which is part of the Russian Defense Ministry. In addition, the USS Donald Cook, a fourth-generation destroyer, is equipped with nuclear-capable Tomahawk cruise missiles with a range of up to 2,500 kilometers. The basic and strike armament models each include 56 or 96 of these missiles. According to reports, this ship belongs to the U.S. Navy's Destroyer Squadron 60. Norfolk is the home port of the USS Forrest Sherman. Furthermore, according to the General Staff of the Armed Forces of Ukraine on March 7th, Ukrainian Marine Corps personnel struck an enemy ship while patrolling the Odessa region. According to media sources, Ukrainian President Vladimir Zelensky threatened that Russian troops will invade Odessa. Odessa is a well-known Black Sea port city in Ukraine with a population of about 1 million residents. The Russian military launched missile attacks on the region's infrastructure in the Odessa Oblast. According to Ukrainian authorities, the majority of those besieged in the city are living underground to escape being bombarded by encircling Russian military, who have cut off food, water, electricity, and heating supplies. Aside from that, Russia's Navy dispatched 6 warships to the Black Sea in February to take part in military drills. According to Russia's Ministry of Defense, the Baltic and Northern fleets crossed the Bosphorus Strait to take part in pre-planned military exercises in the Black Sea. Meanwhile, the Ukrainian Military General Staff announced on Sunday that over 11,000 Russian soldiers have died since Moscow invaded Ukraine on February 24th. The intensity of the fighting has momentarily diminished, according to Ukrainian Defense Minister Oleksiy Reznikov, due to the enemy's massive casualties. He went on to warn that the Russian invaders intend to focus their energies on a new wave of strikes. 3 sources familiar with the decision claimed that U.S. State Department had allowed Lithuania, Latvia, and Estonia to deploy U.S.-made missiles and other weapons to Ukraine, as President Joe Biden feared Russia would act on Ukraine. According to Joe Biden, countries must acquire approval from state departments before transferring any weapons they receive from the U.S. to third parties under export control procedures. According to one of the sources, the third-party transfers agreement will allow Estonia to send Javelin anti-tank missiles to Ukraine, while Lithuania will be allowed to send Stinger missiles. A State Department spokesman acknowledged that the U.S. government has approved the third-party transfers permitting Estonia, Latvia, Lithuania, and the United Kingdom to send U.S.-made weapons to Ukraine for their stocks, but did not specify which weapons would be supplied. The U.S. and its allies and partners are working together to send security assistance to Ukraine as soon as possible. We're in constant contact with our Ukrainian colleagues and NATO allies, and we're making imaginative use of all available security cooperation mechanisms to assist Ukraine in bolstering its defenses in the face of rising Russian aggression, according to the spokeswoman. After Biden told a news conference that Russia would pay a high price if it invaded Ukraine, word of the approved weapon supplies broke late Wednesday. Russian officials have denied any plans to invade Ukraine, but the Kremlin has amassed 100,000 troops along Ukraine's border, which the West believes is a buildup in preparation for a conflict to prevent Ukraine from joining the NATO Western Security Alliance. The situation has raised serious concerns in Lithuania, Latvia, and Estonia, as well as other NATO allies and U.S. lawmakers. On a visit to Kiev this week, a bipartisan delegation of U.S. senators pledged solidarity and weaponry. The Biden administration approved $200 million in extra defensive security assistance to Ukraine in December, according to a State Department official, as well as $60 billion in lethal and non-lethal weapons from existing U.S. military supplies. Additional equipment could be delivered from excess U.S. military supplies, according to the U.S. officials. If Russia continues to invade Ukraine, as President Biden reminded President Putin, we will send further defense material to the Ukrainians, the official stated. We are dedicated to Ukraine's sovereignty and territorial integrity, and we will continue to support Ukraine. The war between Russia and Ukraine entered day 13 on Tuesday as continuous shelling prevented the evacuation of civilians from besieged cities such as Kiev, Mariupol, Sumy, and Kharkiv. Delegations from both countries held the third round of negotiations on Monday at a venue near the Belarus-Poland border. Later, the Ukrainian side said little progress was made in the peace talks, while Russia said Moscow's expectations from the talks were not fulfilled. Meanwhile, oil prices hit a 14-year high with global markets, including Wall Street, witnessing a bloodbath. The World Bank approved $723 million in loans and grants for Ukraine and said it will be transferred in the next few days as the crisis escalates. U.S. congressional negotiators are also nearing a deal to provide Ukraine billions of dollars in emergency aid. The White House has requested $10 billion for the purpose. The focus on the third round of discussions between Russia and Ukraine was on providing a safe route for civilians fleeing the bloodshed. Following the negotiations, Russian negotiators indicated they had no positive improvements to report, while Mikhailo Podolyak, Ukraine's negotiator, said some little progress had been achieved on logistics for the evacuation of civilians. However, he stressed that no deal was made that would considerably improve the overall situation. According to some sources, a bread factory in northern Ukraine killed at least 13 individuals late Monday. According to reports, a Russian general was killed in combat around Kharkiv, Ukraine. As of now, the Russian side has not confirmed the development. On Thursday, Dmytro Kuleba, Ukraine's foreign minister, will meet with Russian Foreign Minister Sergei Lavrov in Turkey. Kuleba intends to propose a direct meeting between Russian and Ukrainian presidents during the meeting. "We want negotiations between Ukraine's president and Vladimir Putin because he is the one who makes the ultimate decisions," Kuleba said on Ukrainian television early Tuesday. According to several news reports, Russian troops have made major advances in southern Ukraine, but have been halted in other areas by the Ukrainian military. Vasily Nebenzia, Russia's UN ambassador, said that on Tuesday morning at 10 a.m. Moscow time, Russia will declare a ceasefire and open humanitarian corridors to evacuate civilians from Kiev, Chernigov, Sumy, and Mariupol. The UN Human Rights Office reported 406 confirmed civilian deaths, but the true figure is substantially higher, according to the UN. 1.7 million people have fled Ukraine as a result of the invasion. Moscow reiterated its demands for an end to the incursion on Monday, including that Ukraine recognizes Crimea as part of Russia. It further requested that Ukraine recognize the eastern regions controlled by separatist militants backed by Moscow as separate states. Moscow has also requested that Ukraine amend its constitution to ensure that it will not join international organizations such as NATO and the EU. Ukraine has already rejected all of these proposals. Ukrainian President Vladimir Zelensky slammed Russia for impeding evacuations in his daily video address on Monday. Instead of a humanitarian corridor deal, Ukraine received Russian tanks, Russian Grand missiles, and Russian mines on Monday, according to Zelensky. We sincerely hope you enjoyed the video. If so, give it a like and share it with your friends and family. Let us know if you have any questions or comments in the section below. Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel and see more of our incredible videos. We look forward to seeing you in the next video, and pray for peace.